Now you may be wondering how I got this Best Dad Ever t-shirt. You know what? Kids' electric bikes do have problems. We're going to talk about the major one right now. They're expensive and kids wind up outgrowing them a lot faster than adults. If you're an adult, you can get an electric bike and it'll last you for 10 years or more, but for kids, you're lucky to get 3 out of it. I put Sweet Pea on her first electric bike back in 2019. She was a perfect size at that time. Even though she learned how to ride the bike very fast, she still used it for some years to come, both on local trails or buzzing around Grandma's country home. That model was really the first of its kind, and we paid a hefty premium to be an early adopter for that kind of riding. And we tried a cheaper version around the same time frame. It was actually surprisingly good, but there was one big problem with that one. The charger was really slow, so if you have more than one kid, they're not going to be able to ride it on the same day because it takes so long to charge up. Okay, so fast forward to today. She's outgrown both of those other bikes, and the market has changed too in that time frame. She's ready for a larger size bicycle, so she's right in the middle of the 16-inch in the blue-green or a 20-inch wheeled bike shown in white. Speaking of, this video is sponsored by Eunorau. Eunorau has an impressive selection of regular adult-size electric bikes on their website, where their specialty is value. They operate as a direct-to-consumer business with great savings available for the customers who are not afraid to put on a front wheel. I have personally put many miles on Eunorau bikes, and I recommend the brand for a customer looking for that sweet spot between product quality, components, and value. Their site is eunorau-ebike.com, and there is a link in the description. Let's get back to it. So here she is, riding on the carefree confidence of the Eunorau eKids16. It's actually a pretty cool bike because this one, you have to get a little bit of momentum before the throttle will allow access. So that means the kid has to be waddling a little bit, and then after they get a little bit of balance, they can hit the throttle and it will go ahead and engage. This is great for larger kids who kind of have an understanding of balance, maybe about 5 years old or so. If you try to put the kids on the E16 first, like their first ever bicycle experience, it's going to be a little hard. Probably because their legs are going to be too short, but also because it's a lot to take in at first. So if you have a late bloomer who still has training wheels at the age of 5, then I think the eKids16 is a perfect bike for that application. Now this bike is great because there are no glaring omissions. It includes a great charger, so it can actually be used by multiple kids in a single day. And also the eKids16 has a decent MSRP of $799, which is actually $200 lower than some of the competition. And that's where things are really quite surprising. These kids' electric bikes, they're on par with the prices for cheaper adult electric bikes. So what gives? Because they're obviously made with smaller stuff, smaller battery, they're a lot easier to ship. So why are they so expensive? My educated guess as to why they're so expensive is because, well, really they're new. I expect the prices to go down in the recent future, maybe the next few years. But until then, we're going to be paying that early adopter premium. Everyone is, even the bike companies, because they have to do low volume manufacturing for a new market that is just now getting its feet wet. So this model, the eKids16, it's pretty good. It's got a throttle, 2 speed levels, and it is made with actual bike components. And that is really important because this is not one of those electric Barbie kids Jeep things with plastic wheels that becomes brittle if you leave it out in the sun for a day. Quality like this on the bicycle, it's really going to last. I can realistically estimate that this will last for 10 years or more. A big part of the reason for that is that kids are not putting a whole lot of stress onto these bikes normally, at least the tiny ones. They're just putzing around in the grass or maybe a paved trail if they're feeling adventurous. At the most, maybe a couple of miles a day before their attention span is used up. At that point, they want to go play or run or jump or maybe go to sleep or something like that. So these bikes don't put up with a whole lot of wear and tear, and I think they'll go for a long time. The batteries inside these bikes, particularly the eKids16 shown here, this kind of battery will be really easy to crack open and replace the cells when that is needed some years down the road. So honestly, I think this is going to last longer than all the bikes that I have for myself. Okay, so you remember I said that Sweet Pea was between 2 different sizes, so that means what am I going to do with this bike next year when it doesn't even fit her? Well, after it runs down the ladder of younger siblings, then I think it should go off to the classified section on the newspaper. And yes, I am old enough to have read the classified section on an actual newspaper. So it's only just beginning now, but I think there's going to be a healthy market for quality kids' electric bikes on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. I think it's going to take a few years from now, so if you're starting a family right now, you're probably going to be in the perfect time frame to pick up a bike like this for a lot cheaper. So bikes like the Eunorau eKids16 are already pushing the price down considerably. But realistically, I think they're going to get to a floor in which the quality will not last for younger siblings if it's too cheap, and certainly not for the secondhand market. So if you're looking for an affordable price on a kid's electric bike that is going to last, then you're probably going to be looking at a price point like this for right now. So a few years ago, I put my toddler onto an electric bicycle. I thought it was a great idea to give my little munchkin access to a throttle-powered two-wheeler before she could even ride a regular bike. And it totally worked. Now with this, we are primed for many, many more adventures together, and thanks to the great state of Utah, there is a lot more to come. So guess what? Around comes Father's Day, and I was awarded with this t-shirt. I know, I shouldn't rub it in, but now I've got a lot of experience supervising the use of kids' electric bikes, and I plan on doing a follow-up video, so let me know what questions you have in the comment section, and I will totally cover each of them. Right now, the channel is small enough where I read all the comments, and in this case, I can totally answer them. If you're seeing this video some 4 or 5 years in the future, maybe not so much, but at least for now, I'll totally answer every question that you have on camera that are relevant about riding kids' electric bikes. You can also check out the link for the 20-inch version when that video is ready, right here, or you can support the channel directly on Patreon. I'm Mikey for Blue Monkey Bicycles, and I will see you on later.